What's going on? Will Freeman, RevolutionaryLifestyleDesign.com, coming at you tonight from Bangkok here. See Bangkok. Bangkok, Thailand on a little semi-vacation. I came down from Chiang Mai to scope out the scene to see if this is the place that I want to set up my permanent base. I've been in Chiang Mai for a couple of years now, and it's getting a bit stale. So I'm here on a semi-vacation. And by that, I mean I can't take a vacation because I'm a producer, man. And if I'm not working, I'm not feeling good. So I've been falling behind on my work. And that's why I'm here while everyone else out there is partying. I'm here on vacation on Friday night doing a video and doing an article for you guys because that's what it takes, okay? Being a producer. Being a producer means no days off. And there were 2 days this week that I didn't get stuff done, so I got to make up time for it. Okay, I got to make up time because if you want success, man, it's about production. It's about being a producer. Okay, we live on an economic planet. And for you to be able to live the life you want with an abundance of health, wealth, women, and freedom, you need to get paid. Okay, unless you get financially free, you're going to be hamstrung in every area of your life. Okay, that's a fact. It's not a pretty fact, but it's a fact. Okay, it's not like capitalism is the greatest system of all time, but it's better than the other two options that we had in the last century, communism and fascism. Okay, but even more importantly than that is we don't have control over the system. Okay, we work within the system. We don't have control over the money situation, how money's created and central banking and all that. So we have to work within that, and it is an economic planet. That's the reality. So you need to get paid if you want to be able to live a life of comfort and happiness. Okay, to get and keep wealth, you only need to understand one basic principle: produce more than you consume. That's it. Produce more than you consume, and the wider the gap between your production and your consumption, the better lifestyle you're going to be able to generate. Okay, and the faster you're going to be able to get and keep wealth, especially when you're reinvesting the profits from your production back into your money machine, also known as a business, because that's what a business is. It's a money machine. My business is the only thing in life that gives me money, and it gives me the ability to have leisure time. Everything and everyone else wants my time or my money. The business is what gives. That's why I'm here 9 o'clock on a Friday night doing videos and doing articles, because this is what gives, right? This is what gives. So this has to be number one. And that means production. Okay. You can't get rich and think like a consumer. It's just not possible. Thinking like a consumer is, those guys who are leaving those angry, poorly written comments on the Google App Store. You can go to the Google App Store right now and see millions of angry comments in all caps, horrible grammar, because the latest version of Google Maps, which is literally beaming directions to you from anywhere in the world, that not only can you see where you're going, but the Google Maps will actually tell you where to go and where to turn, which is a free app. And they're complaining that it doesn't work 100% perfectly on their new Samsung Galaxy S, and they're yelling in all caps about it. Okay, this is the ultimate in consumer mentality. And there are millions of these angry comments on the App Store. I guarantee that one, none of those people are producers, and number two, none of those people are successful and probably not going to be successful. Okay, because that kind of a mentality is so far away from what you need to become to actually be successful. A producer doesn't leave angry comments on the App Store screaming in all caps in the general direction of who knows who they're even talking to. It's not like the Google developers are just sitting there reading every single comment on Google Maps. Okay. A producer knows that reaching out to a business through their customer service department or hiring someone to solve the problem is how you get things done. All right. Being a producer is about understanding the game. It's also about patience and being able to delay gratification. Okay. Instant gratification is for consumers. All right. The hot sale, the emotional appeal, the time sensitive giveaway, all that garbage you see on those sales pages, all of that's for consumers and sold to them by producers. Okay. Waiting all night in the freezing cold for the new pair of Air Jordans is consumer behavior. I'll never forget. Right before I left Canada, it was 6 o'clock on a Saturday morning, or 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning. I was, of course, going to the gym. I was up by 6. Was going to spend the rest of the day doing work, and I noticed this lineup of young men with energy and potential and the ability to produce. And I asked them what's going on, and they said they were waiting for the new Jordans, and they'd been up all night in the freezing Canadian winter, camped out, waiting for a pair of sneakers. Okay? That mentality is absolute insanity. Okay? That's absolute madness. You I mean, just imagine if they were able to take that mentality and put it into production. Okay? They wouldn't have to wait all night for new Jordans. If they wanted new Jordans, they could order them, or they could pay whatever the price was. Okay? I mean, consumer behavior, that consumer mentality is a short stop to working a job you hate, living paycheck to paycheck, being unsatisfied, and mortgaging your future for the things that you want today. It's mortgaging your future for today because you can't wait to get those things. You need them now. So you'll make yourself a slave for the rest of your life to get things today. Okay? If for people that have debt, I'm not talking about corporate debt, but they personal debt, they've leveraged themselves, enslaved themselves for those things today. Right? They've enslaved their future. Okay? That's short-term thinking. Consumer behavior is short-term thinking. All right? Producer behavior is long-term thinking. Producers want that long money, and they have the patience to persist in getting it. Producers know that to keep getting that money, you need to keep producing more than you consume. No ifs, ands, or maybes. You need to produce more than you consume. Always. Always. If you can't keep producing more than you consume, you're going to lose what you have. Even if you've built up a lot, you're going to lose what you have eventually. Okay? There is no neutral in the game of life that we're playing. You're going up or you're going down. So you need to be constantly producing, and you need to constantly be consuming a lot less than you're producing. The average person has $5,000 in savings, or less than that, because they're leveraged to the hilt in debt. They're paycheck to paycheck. They wouldn't be able to survive an emergency without borrowing money off someone or asking their parents for money. This is the direct result of that short-term thinking and not willing to make those sacrifices. There is no neutral in the game of life, and you need to produce more than you consume. That's why most lottery winners and most athletes and a lot of musicians go broke after those big paydays start coming in, because they're still consumers. So they're making 40 mil and they're spending 45 mil. They're spending the money as fast as it can come in, and they're spending more than they have because now they're able to get credit. Right? They're able to go to the banks and get credit, and put themselves in debt and go broke. Like, you can do the research on football players. So many of those guys go broke after making tons of money. Okay? It's like the universe does a quick accounting check and they notice some regularities, and the universe just promptly takes that money back. Right? They're like, oh no, wait, look, a consumer somehow got a bunch of money. Well, let's just take that back. Right? And the guy with the consumer mentality, he breaks his neck giving that money back to producers. He can't spend it fast enough. Those lottery winners or those athletes, they can't spend it fast enough giving that money back to producers. Okay? The reality is consumers outnumber producers 99-1. I would say 1 out of every 100 guys is a producer. Okay? So the good news is there's always going to be a market for the few brave reality creators and producers in our marketplace of ideas, because you're rare. When you're a producer, you're rare. All right? Most people want things right now. They don't want to produce. They want the new apps from Google, and they want the new smartphone, and they want the new this or that, and they want it right now, so they'll go into debt for it. Right? When you're willing to get on the other side of that equation, on the other side of that coin, you become valuable because you're able to give people what they want. And in turn, with patience, you're able to get what you want. The key to putting yourself into the productive class is solving problems for the consumer class. Okay. Steve Jobs solved a problem most people didn't even know they had, and he did so on a massive scale. And I am speaking to you on his product right now. I'm speaking to you on the end result of that product. His reward was influence, money, a legacy that lives beyond his death, and his jersey is forever hanging in that pantheon of greatness because he was able to become a producer, and he was able to solve problems so well, and solve problems that people didn't even know they had, and do it on such a massive scale with such dedication. Okay, you can read his biography and see the level of detail he had. I mean, he would call his app developers on Sunday morning because the font or the color didn't look right on one particular app. That was the kind of dedication that he had to production, right? The end result was all that greatness, but it came from that dedication, and from that production mentality of wanting to be the best and wanting to produce the best quality products. So producers find problems, solve them, and sell people that their products and services are the best solution. And they keep selling until they get agreement, because agreement is reality, and agreement's what gets you paid. If you guys are watching my videos, if you know who I am and you've been watching my stuff and you're believing in it, and maybe you bought some products, that's because I've generated agreement. I've put myself out there so much. I've done so much production for free, and I've attempted to solve so many problems for you, and maybe I have solved those problems for you. And when that solution comes, it's agreement. So I'm producing these solutions, and if you are agreeing with it, then that is the key. Okay, that's what gets me to be able to keep being a producer, is getting agreement. And that's what you need to do when you're selling your products or services. That's what sales really is. It's getting people to agree, because agreement's reality, right? Not everyone, reality is subjective, right? Everyone is living in a different reality. We'll have some things that we agree on, but we'll have some things that we don't agree on. A billion people are Muslim, maybe another 500 million are atheist, right? And we're all looking at the same data, and all of those people are certain that they have the right reality, right? And they all, and in both of those camps, they all have agreement with each other, but they have disagreement across those camps, right? So the agreement is reality. The agreement in those ideas is reality. So producers find problems, solve them, sell people, and get agreement. It's simple, but it's not easy. That's why 90% of businesses fail, right? They fail because it's not easy, and they fail because a lot of those people who are starting businesses aren't committed to become a producer for life. They weren't committed to pivot. They weren't committed to test everything, to keep going when it got hard, and they gave up. And the worst part is when people start one business and they go back to the job and say it's not for me. That's a really sad outcome. Okay. 90% of businesses fail. That's why I recommend a sales-based service business in a proven market. Okay. If you're selling real estate, you're going to make money. If you follow everything. If you want to see how to sell, read my book, How to Sell, revolutionarylifestyledesign.com/products. Okay. And you go any of those proven markets: real estate, insurance, personal training, copywriting, marketing, any of those services. A lot of guys will tell you not to sell your time for money. I tell you to sell your time for a lot of money. Okay, at least in your first business, you can do product-based businesses, but get yourself out of wage slavery first. Get yourself into the producer class, solidify it, get your income up, get above six figures. Okay, then you can start to get your savings up. Then you can start to expand those multiple streams of revenue. But for the first business, and for getting you 100, 200, 250 a year, those sales-based services business is the best bet. Okay. If you're exceptional, you can try reinventing the wheel. You can try the startup. Check out my video on how to know if you're exceptional. One hint is, you have an IQ of 150, right? Like you have an IQ of a Mark Zuckerberg or a Bill Gates, or I have some friends, and one guy's a really successful entrepreneur, another guy made a ton of money in poker. Those guys are genius level IQs. Okay, I mean it's not an accident, and they had the work ethic, and they had the sales skills, and they had all these other different factors, right? I had a startup, it flopped. I had no business doing that, right? My intelligence is much more tailored towards what I'm doing now. Okay, so if you are exceptional, I mean, you can take a shot at reinventing the wheel, but for the vast majority of guys, it's that sales based service business that I keep harping on. And I mean, the reality is the world is made up of producers and consumers, but consumers outnumber producers 99 to 1. Most work jobs that they don't like so they can eat off a producer's table and just barely make ends meet. That's most people's reality. That's why when you ride the subway on Monday morning in February in Canada when it's minus 35, you look around. I remember looking around when I was in Canada and no one was happy. No one was happy with what they were doing. Okay. And that's the reality for a lot of people. Okay. It's not to say that I don't respect people that work jobs and earn hard to make a live, or, work hard to make a living. I do. I respect janitors. I respect factory workers. I respect maids and house cleaners and the garbage men of the world. All those services are what allows people to live comfortably. And, a lot of those people are just trying to feed their family. And I respect that. I respect that they do the hard work and the thankless job so that we can live comfortably. But I'm not going to be one of them. I will not be one of them. Okay? And if you want the good things in life, you can't be one of them either. If you want a kind of life where you can be happy and live in sunshine and travel and have women and have good things, you can't be one either. This world is a rough place, man. It's a rough place, and you have to work really hard to get a life that's consistently happy. All right. You can talk about all the structural problems. You can talk about, how the world could change and all these different things. And those are nice ideas, but this is how it is. Okay. And if you neglect that, and if you don't understand that, and you don't think that money's a big deal, you are making a big mistake, man. You're making a big mistake, because I've been at the bottom, man. I've been poor. I was born poor. I was, grew up with a single mother. I've been poor in adulthood when, I made mistakes in business. And I'm not going back to that, dude. If you have potential and you have drive, you're never going to be satisfied in that lifestyle. You're never going to be satisfied living that consumer lifestyle where you're just absorbing mainstream media and, just living to consume things. Okay. Where you're just, you work a job that you don't like. So then you escape into consumerism. You escape into, going out to the nightclub and consuming reality there, and, buying the Air Jordans and buying the phone, and those give you like temporary little state boosts. And because you're trying to escape, a lifestyle that you don't like, that but that state boost of buying all those things is what's keeping you in that lifestyle. And to make it worse, you go into debt and you go into credit, and that further enslaves you into that lifestyle, and it becomes a vicious cycle. Becomes a vicious cycle, man. When you don't get control over your consumption, you're really going to suffer. Okay, you're really going to suffer, just like a lot of people out there suffer. you know so many people are suffering because they're trapped up in that consumption lifestyle. They're trying to keep up with the Joneses before they can afford to have those things, and they suffer. So I've been to the bottom. If you want to get to the top, you need to put in work to be a producer. The truth is, you have to become a slave to success, man. You have to become a slave to success. And success is a merciless master. You don't get there by spending all your money on what you want at this moment. You get there by giving other people what they want. Being a producer is about giving other people what they want first so that you can eventually get what you want. Okay? It's about giving more than you can take. It's about adding value to as many people as you can. People only love you as far as the value you create for them. To be a producer means you need to deliver value day in, day out, and you need to give more than you take. Okay, being a producer is about being on your game every day. While everyone else is out partying, you're producing. Okay, that's what I'm doing right now. When everyone else is out spending money, you're saving money. When everyone else is watching the movie, you're behind the curtain producing the movie. All right. Okay. You can still go to the movies and enjoy yourself. You can still spend money. You can still party a little bit, but you can't consume more than you produce. Okay. That's a shortstop mentality to the poorhouse. If you want the life that you deserve, you need to become a producer. That means solving problems. It means putting your clients first. It means delaying gratification, and it means reinvesting that all of that money into a large part of that money into your money machine, which is your business. A business is a money machine. Business is your ticket to the producer class and to the life that you want. Okay. You're not going to get rich as an employee. All right. When you do all that, you can consume whatever you want without making a dent in your budget. When you put in that work, when you put in that 5 or 10 years, you can consume more than all the other people without putting a dent in your budget. Okay. And you can have the life you want, but you have to be a producer. You have to be a patient. You have to grind. You have to reinvest. You have to solve problems. You have to put other people first, and you have to keep adding value every day. All right. That's what you have to do. Okay. So keep grinding, keep pushing, keep shoving, keep kicking, keep reinvesting, keep producing, and don't quit. Never, ever quit. Okay. Never, ever quit. When you don't quit, you can't fail. Okay. Don't quit. Don't stop. Don't stop pushing. Just keep going until you get the life you deserve, and keep producing, man. All right. That's what it takes to win. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this useful. Let me know what you think in the comment section. All the best to you.